It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, AM 1250, online at sasportstar.com. Along with Joe Reinagel, I'm Jason Minix, and this is Stephen Jones. Joining us, brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Stephen, probably better news around the facility today now that Dak Prescott has a couple of practices under his belt. How is he looking from your vantage point when you're watching him at practice?
Well, I think he looks outstanding. Like you said, just the fact that he's, just out there and running our first team offense and, out there interacting with our team as an active participant in practice is a huge step. And like I said, I want to start with saying what a great job Cooper Rush did for us. He was outstanding as our backup while Dak was out. But, anytime you have a franchise quarterback, it puts a pep in your step to have him back out there running the huddle, running the offense, and thought he had a great practice today.
Stephen, when you look at it, and of course you guys have the Detroit Lions in this week, when you look at Dak, though, this seems to me to be a great game for him to come back and maybe shake the rust off a little bit, if he has any, and not disparaging the Lions at all, but at home, against the Lions, it just seems like the perfect opportunity for him to get back in the saddle.
Well, I'm going to take the Lions out, but it's good that he's going to be at home, and control the environment, have a good, friendly home crowd to play before is outstanding. But after that, Dan Campbell, if you look at their games this year, I mean, he is right on the cusp of, having a winning record. I mean, all their games are down to the wire. He played for us. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Dan and what he's doing with that football team. And, they're moving the ball, one of the top offenses in the league. And, we're going to have our hands full as far as the Lions are concerned. But it will be great that Dak can come back, at AT&T Stadium in front of the home crowd in a controlled environment like we do have at AT&T Stadium. And then the rest is going to be about Hello?
Yeah, there we are. All right. Can you hear us, Stephen?
Yes.
All right, there you go. I'm not sure what happened there. I just lost you for a moment, but the rest is going to be about.
Well, I'm on a hard line in the Cowboys office, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I know it's going to be nice to be in a controlled environment as we visit with Stephen Jones here, brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. I did notice when Dak was talking with the media today, the photos I saw on social media, he had a hat on that said "Linemen lead the way," which is great because he needs those guys to protect him up front. But I'm seeing reports of some tough news for the Cowboys offensive line. Rookie Matt Walesko hurt his shoulder today, out for the season, is going to need shoulder surgery. Can you give us an update?
Yeah, we'll get a final prognosis on that. But as we all know, we knew when we drafted Matt, he had, a shoulder situation. It came out first day of training camp, and he missed a significant amount of time leading up to the season. And then, unfortunately, it came back out today, is what we feel like. We'll certainly get the MRIs and everything and confirm everything, but he's a great prospect for us. It's unfortunate that shoulder came out, but we'll just have to deal with the final prognosis and move from there.
Well, that is tough news, Stephen, but I want to talk about some positive news. You've got to be thrilled, I would think, watching Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot and the way these two young guys are working, especially filling in when Dalton Schultz was injured. But Jake Ferguson is a guy I saw in training camp, and I just kind of fell in love with the guy. But you guys have got to be thrilled with what you have there at the tight end position.
Well, these two guys have really stepped up, as you said, and we certainly miss the steadiness of Dalton Schultz and what he's brought to the table for Dak. Dak hadn't been out there, but he's always been a guy, as we all know, when, he's a security blanket, if you will, a la the way Jason Witten was for Dak and Romo. Dalton's done that, but boy, have these guys stepped up and done a great job. Each one of them have their own skill set in terms of what they bring to the table. Ferguson's been consistent throughout camp, throughout the season, gritty blocker, makes the plays, dependable guy. And then, of course, I think Peyton brings a little bit of what Blake Jarwin did. He stretched the field and stretched the middle of the field. He has some explosiveness in his game, and he stepped up and did a great job as well. And I'd throw McKeon in that mix. Young player we drafted a couple years ago, fought through some injuries, but every time Dalton's been unable to go, he stepped up and did a good job for us.
Stephen Jones joining us here on the Blitz. And Stephen, as you get ready to play the Lions this week, coming off that tough loss against the Eagles, and I'm not a moral victory guy, but I was impressed with the way that game started for the Cowboys to get to within 3 late in that second half. What did you learn about your team on Sunday night in Philadelphia?
I totally agree. There's no moral victories, but I think this team showed the resilience they have. It's a great group of guys. Mike continues to say that. Our head coach, Mike McCarthy, what a great group they are. As we all know, down 20-0 and having a lot of things go against us in terms of the way we've been playing most of the year, protecting the ball. All those things, unfortunately, went against us in the second quarter there with 3 short fields for the Eagles. And for us to battle back and really have a chance to win that football game says a lot for our team. It says a lot, too, about Cooper Rush there. He had the unfortunate turnovers there in the second, but led our team on 2 long touchdown drives in the third behind a gritty offensive line. And, of course, Zeke ran the ball outstanding. So I think it says a lot about our team as we go forward. It's unfortunately we weren't able to finish, and thought our defense had an opportunity there to stop them. But, Jalen Hurts is having a great year. That Philadelphia offense is really good, and they made the plays they had to answer there in the start of the fourth quarter with a long touchdown drive themselves, and just put ourselves in too big a hole.
Absolutely. But again, you learned something about that team, and resilient. That's a great word for it.
Absolutely.
Get a win this weekend against Detroit. Stephen Jones, always appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate it. Stephen Jones, the Cowboys Executive Vice President, joining us here on the Blitz as he does every Thursday. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys.